Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Westworld. This is the second episode of the second season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. So we started last episode, so starting a new season with Bernard laying on the beach, water's rushing in, you know, hitting his face right in the sand. He's awaking, he's putting glasses on, chaos is erupting, people are pointing at him with guns. Do you know what I mean? We have people coming over saying Bernard's the actual man in charge now. So it's like, what's going on here, mate? You know, where's the timeline gone from Ford being shot to Bernard being on the beach? What has actually happened? Well, we've seen it kind of unraveling, didn't we? So as he was walking across the beach, you know, we had loads of people coming in trying to pass him information. We were seeing all of these hosts. He was getting killed, wasn't there? He was all getting shot, executed. You know what I mean? They're taking no chances after what happened at the, you know, at the crazy launch of Ford's new event, and obviously Ford being killed as well off Dolores. You know, they're taking no chances, and you know, they're scanning and checking everybody and killing him. Now they found one of these dead hosts. He went in, he cut his head off, cracked inside of his skull, pulled out a chip, put it in, checked the data pretty much from the visuals from his eyes and seen what's been going on. And we've seen it. He was running. Dolores chased him, shot and gunned him down. Now, the interesting thing is, Dolores, you know, last episode, she was speaking to Teddy. She's trying to explain to him, look, mate, you know, I've seen it, I've experienced it. I've been in their world, I've been in our world. They try to dictate everything that we do. You know, they control our minds, they reset us, we make us forget our past. But no more. I'm in control. I'm doing what I want. Do you know what I mean? She's like, you know, taking this world is not good enough. I'm going to be taking theirs as well. And we've seen her. She was grabbing well, she was killing hosts and she was grabbing humans as well. She was getting nooses, tying them around the neck, lifting them up on crosses, pretty much just leaving them to die. Now, the interesting thing is she was saying to them, look, mate, you know, you had your dreams of this place and now I've got my own dreams. I've seen my own visions and I'm, you know, basically I am the person in charge now. I decide what to do. So she was telling Teddy this, and look, he's never seen it. He's not experienced it. He doesn't really know what she's talking about. But he's going along with it. He loves her, so, you know, he's actually going along with it. You could see as well, she's trying to recruit. She's trying to get more and more people on board and on the side. So it's going to be interesting to see if she successfully does that, you know, moving forward. If she can actually get, you know, to the facility, to the actual real world and what she would do there. We also seen her attacking a couple of people that we had an interesting flashback. So with Bernard, you know, he awoke on the beach and there was loads of people around him. But then we had like loads of flickering on the screen and it started, you know, showing little clips here and there that we might see throughout the season. And then boom, it went to straight after the chaos after Ford was shot. Now he was in a barn, him and Hale, do you know what I mean? And a couple of other people as well who was trying to escape. They ended up running and being gunned down themselves by obviously a couple of the hosts before, obviously, like I said, before Dolores turned up, let one of them live and he just ran off into the trees. Now, that was interesting. I thought he was going to kill him as well because he killed the whole group. Hale and Bernard, you know, sensed some strangers going on and they stayed behind, so they didn't actually get caught. And they actually made it to the facility and they went inside and, you know, Hale's on the computer and she's typing up. She's like, look, mate, you know, like Cold Red, we need immediate evacuation. They sent one through saying, you know, package not received. But, you know, Bernard's like, what do you mean package not received? She started talking about Abernathy, saying that, you know, we put all these codes inside his head, we sent them the package, you know, until they receive it, they're not going to come in and extract us. And we've seen the chaos. Everybody's dying, everybody's getting killed. You know, Bernard's confused, he don't really know what's going on. He's figured out that what they're actually doing is taking data. You know, all the people that paid to go to the park and use it, they're taking their DNA, they're taking all of, you know, the information. It's basically like Google when they, you know, read all your cookies and all that, and they you know, like all your web searches, and they acquire information on what people like and give you like personalized adverts. I don't know, it's kind of like that, but like in a real life scheme. I don't know if they can use it to maybe blackmail people or use it to use the data to market to certain people, certain situations. It's going to be interesting again to find out what the actual use is of that, and I'm assuming that it's illegal what they're doing anyway. And you know, Bernard, he's kind of deteriorating as well. He is a host, and you know what, it's like malfunctioning all over the place. He's ended up having to like inject himself with some sort of like serum to kind of like recover him. So he's fascinating. And then obviously we ended the episode pretty much with back in the present. So like we jumped across that. We're not messing about with the timelines like last season. You got to concentrate which literal area you're actually in. We jumped back in to the actual present 2 weeks later after the shooting, and it was Bernard and all of these other people that are trying to come and actually take out all the holes and get it back to some normality. Stood at the end of like a cliff looking out at all these dead holes in the ocean saying, this hasn't been here before, wonder who's done this. Ford surely couldn't have made this in the last few weeks. And then, you know what I mean? What did Bernard said something like it was me. I done it. I killed them or something before the episode ended. So we're going to have to get to that point as well and see what's actually happened from the shooting to obviously Dolores going around killing everyone to 2 weeks later to Bernard being on the beach and all these people actually coming because obviously the package would have arrived. So interesting. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 2 of season 2 of Westworld.
Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
You're in our world.
Yeah, check. In modern day society.
Have you ever seen anything so full of splendor?
It's better to see it through your eyes, though.
I don't think I could ever get used to this.
It's almost time, Arnold.
So we're back in the day.
You'll be dazzled even without her.
There was a time when I found this favoritism charming.
Dolores, let's take a walk.
So we are, this is like 30 years in the past then, isn't it? Because obviously it's before they've made the park.
This is my home, or it will be when it's finished. This is for my son, Charlie.
You told me a lot about Charlie. I'd like to meet him someday.
Imagine having that view from your house. It's mad, isn't it?
Strange new light can be just as frightening as the dark. Ever seen anything so full of splendor?
Well, she's already said that. So do you reckon she's not fully programmed yet? That's why he's saying she's not ready. That was interesting. Do you know what, right? I've got to say, every time Bernard takes his glasses off and he leans him, it annoys me. It just does. I don't know, man. Like, it's something that should not be annoying to anyone. Like, he does it all the time, and I'm like, it's unnecessary, mate. I literally clean my glasses like 1 time a day or something. The guy does it all the time. But it was interesting. This seems to be in the past, like 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Before the park started, and you know, Ford saying to him there is favoritism. He has got favoritism over, you know, over Dolores. It's clear. It actually is clear to see. The reason, I don't know. We've never actually been told the reason. But he was saying he's ready. He was saying no. He was saying, right then, we're going to have to go with the other girl. So, are they trying to, I don't know, show people, maybe, that this is, you know, like, this is something that they've made? Again, do you know what I mean? That's fascinating because, yeah, okay, we've been seeing them create the models and, like, create the park, but we haven't seen how they got to that stage and like who approved it. So I mean I'm excited, and obviously, like I said, she said the same thing twice there, so maybe her coding is not fully developed yet. That's the reason why she wasn't chosen. Oh, this guy actually made it. He made it.
You can't be down here, man. Don't you know? The hosts are rebelling.
Oh, they used him as bait. Oh, they used him as bait.
He thought you could do what you wanted to us.
You have no idea what you're up against.
Yo, I like these little flashy things. I think it's well good. It's just a good addition to the show.
I've been there before.
This transition.
Forgive the interruption, but I believe that we have an appointment.
With all the cloak and dagger shit surrounding your project, I half expected to be getting after the airport.
It's a little extra protection for your investment.
My father wouldn't know the future if it slapped him on his bare white ass. Luckily, he leaves most of the prospecting to me now. So let's hope you're not here to sell me some fucking fool's gold.
So it's interesting. That's the first time we've seen him since William put him on a horse, slapped its ass, and just let it ride off in it into the sunset. Now, again, it's interesting because Delos, is that what they're calling it? That's his surname. They own the park, innit? So maybe this is where I was saying how you actually get there. This is them, because he said it was cloak and dagger. It was all, you know what I mean? Puts names to faces, secrecy around the project, looking for startups. Do you know what I'm saying? This could be it. So is this where Ford and is this where Arnold are trying to obviously attain funding for their project?
I thought this was a private demonstration.
I think you'll find the company quite stimulating.
See if you can pick them out.
You know, the good twist would be if it was Angela. Is that her name?
We should tell your plans to stop giving the game away. They're also painfully human. No. I mean, look, if I was to build something to spec, you would be my first design. Of course, if you want my full endorsement, you're gonna have to prove it.
Oh, all of them, mate. Yo, that was sick.
Welcome to Westworld.
We're not here yet.
We're here, Mr. Delos. All our hosts are here. For you.
You know what, right? Be sick. If he sleeps with her and she's a host and he's... It basically is like, wow, mate. Like, everything about this is so real. Like, down to the T. Literally, you cannot tell the difference. It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, if you look at that there, if you was a millionaire, you was a billionaire, and somebody come and made that proposal to you, start up, do you know what I mean? That's revolutionising the whole entire world. If you've got the money, you back it, because nobody is, do you know, like, this advanced. It's like... The only time I can kind of compare something to something is like Steve Jobs when he unveiled the iPhone and you could touch it and you could scroll through it. Do you remember when he held it up and all he done is he like slid his finger across the screen and it unlocked and the whole audience was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? But at the time, it's like, that was mad. Honestly, it was mad, wasn't it? And he was like, look, instead of having an iPad, you know, it's right here in the phone. You just press the music, scroll, and was like, what? Play, and it's there, and it's back to a phone. Revolutionary. Do you know what I'm saying? If you had the money and this was pitched to you, you're taking it, because this is a crazy, crazy demonstration. First of all, one of the best pitches that I've seen. Go in and guess the wrong thing, everybody's there. Do you know what I mean? All of them are part of it, and you can't even tell. The only thing I can say, like, I seen another great one in The Office. You know, paper company, trying to sell it. I want you to join Dunder Mifflin. Sorry, mate, we're already part of another company. Okay, well, will you call them? Let's just see what they say. Rings them, 5 minutes on the phone, still no answer, they're busy. Big corporation, please hold. Let's ring Dunder Mifflin. 2 seconds, ring. Hello, Dunder Mifflin. There you go. You want business, you want customer service, you want somebody to be at hand, us. Ping down, we'll be happy to do it. Do you know what I mean? Great sales pitch, another amazing one here. Pick us out, you can't, we're all part of it. Even her, I believe. Anyway, that's what I think, because she's obviously with Dolores now in the present, in it, going around doing it. And she must have been that other girl, that Dolores. You know, she wasn't ready, but she obviously was. Very interesting. Yeah, see, look. Oh, Dolores is watching. And now she's killing for Dolores instead.
It's time to open your eyes.
Why can't I remember this?
It's how they wanted it.
Why do you do this? Just for fun.
We're not seeing him in ages, mate. And the guy's come to save him again, second time, but this time he's hanging upside down, not hanging from the neck.
This a friend of yours?
I have to apologize, gentlemen. I don't have time for the preliminaries. Pardue brothers aren't as easy to kill when they're off the leash.
Think you got that about right.
The visuals are good on this show. They do it well.
What is that?
Technically, cheating. But seeing as Ford changed the rules on us, I figure it's fair game. For the first time, you've got yourself a real revolution. This whole enterprise is going down in flames. And in the little time we have left, we've got a chance to see what we're really made of. You believe in God, Lawrence?
I ain't given the matter much thought, one way or the other.
Some fairy tale to convince people to behave, pay their taxes. They wanted a place hidden from God, a place they could sin in peace. But we were watching them. We were tallying up all their sins. I have received my judgment all the same, Lawrence, and I take issue with it. Up until this point, the stakes in this place haven't been real. So I'm going to fight my way back.
Oh, just before he carries on there, right? First of all, that technology that he's got there for self-healing, and it works on humans, again, talk about revolutionary, that is it. That would be worth absolute billions, mate, in real life, if that was the case. Let's pose this question, though. Why did he need a medkit, yeah? So he said, look, technically it's cheating. I put it here. You know, if Ford could do stuff, so can I, basically, he was saying. But before this happened, they couldn't die, so you wouldn't need a med kit. Do you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't get shot, stabbed, hurt. Yeah, they could feel a bit of the impact and go down, but you would never need a med kit, so why is one there? You know what I mean? It would make sense now after the park's been chaotic and one's been drafted in, so to speak, but not from before. But that's just looking too far into it. What's not looking too far into it is, he was saying there, you know, do you believe in God? Some almighty power looking down on you, judging you for, you know, actions that you've done, trying to make you a better person, say in real life. And, you know, this world was created for the reason that people who wanted to take a machete to the neighbour, who didn't want to be judged by God, could come in here and they could do those crazy actions. You know what I mean? That's what he was saying. But he also said, but what they didn't know is we was here, we was watching it, we was cataloguing it, we was acquiring the data. You know what I mean? We was going to use it. Now, instead of being judgmental or something like that, he said, we had a different agenda. Basically, basically, they require information and they're trying to use it in a certain way, but we don't know what that is yet. But I'm thinking that it maybe just be blackmailing. Because imagine how many people would go into this park. Say you create a park like this, and Justin Bieber come in it, and Bradley Cooper, let's just say. They got in, and Justin Bieber, you know, he decides to beat a couple of women up and sleep with them, and Bradley Cooper decides to go and, you know, kill a few people and hang them, and you just take that. No matter what, even though it is a game, a world, a fake reality, you still got that. And you'd be like, look, mate, you know, if I release this into the world, people are going to have a different perception of you. And people are going to start judging you differently. Your career could be in the mud. I want a couple of million. Do you know what I mean? Keep it quiet. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You never know what it's for. Blackmailing purposes. I'd be well interested to see how they use it.
How many of you will come for us?
I don't know. 600, 800?
800 men, Dolores. We barely have 50. We'll need allies.
This one, the Confederado. Wake him.
Don't mind me. Just trying to look chivalrous.
Is Dolores awake or what? What do you reckon?
You were right about one thing, William. It's awfully fucking pretty.
Oh, right.
The whole thing is folly.
He's drowning. We can dictate our terms.
My fuck up of a son invested in this place because he believed in the future. I'm not interested in the future. I'm interested in reality.
Half of your marketing budget goes to trying to figure out what people want. But here they're free. Nobody's watching. At least that's what we tell them. This is the only place in the world where you get to see people for who they really are. And if you don't see the business in that, then you're not the businessman that I thought you were.
You're a cheeky little cunt, aren't you? Talk to me. I'm listening.
You gonna move or what? Blink? What's gonna happen? I would have liked her to blink there. Right. Timeline is key in this program. It actually is key because sometimes you're watching it and you think it's a present and it's the past, and like now that's obviously been confirmed it's the past, but then we need to deep dive into it a little bit more. So like this has happened, this conversation here between Logan's dad and William has happened after William has been in the park and, you know, fell kind of for Dolores before he sent Logan off on the horse. So then before that, so 30 at the start of the episode, it was like 30 years before like present day kind of. And then that was where Logan was pitched this Westworld by obviously those investors, and like, which he accepted because he said that he's, you know, his dad wouldn't know the future if it slapped him on his ass. Yeah, this guy, his dad, has said here that he don't care about the future. He cares about reality, but really he cares about data and what people want, because Williams just said to him, look mate, half your budget is all spent on finding out what people actually want, where this world gives him what it wants. And this is where he's going to be proposing to probably legally start storing information. But the timeline is key, because you think about it, 30 years ago he was pitched, and then he used a startup to create this Westworld. But then at the time Logan and William went into the park, it was well successful. It was really good. There was so many heads going there, you know what I mean? Everyone was loving it. And then it seems like from that period to this one, so from the time where William hit Logan and he ran away on the horse or whatever's, and then up until this moment here where William turns up into the park, it's dying. Westworld's not as advantageous as it is anymore. He was saying that he's been looking at the books and he's got like 2 years left or something. But Williams just said, mate, this is the future. In 20 years, it's going to be booming. And then it is right, because then you've jumped 20 years like into the future where William now is not that William, is the Man in Black William. And it is up until obviously Dolores shooting him, it was mad. It had so much invested into it. So many people went, it was thriving. Millions of people was going, there was jobs, it was everything. Do you know what I mean? It was 40k a day to go. So if you follow the timeline, it was mad. Do you know what I mean? We've been jumping through it. And then obviously now, like I said, here, he's doing a pitch, which to me is him saying, let's store the data. But my question is, where's Logan in this then? Because this has happened, like I said, after they've been in the park. So like, why is Logan no longer in the fold? Oh, it's Maeve.
Hello, lovelies. You've strayed a long way from home, haven't you? We're bound for the future, or death in the here and now. Is that right? I can only fathom the revenge that lives inside of you. Revenge? It's just a different prayer at their altar, darling. And let me guess, yours is the only way to fight. You feel free to command everybody else.
Look at him.
Peace.
Do you feel free?
I'd love her to be able to shut everybody down if she's powerful enough.
Since it's liberty you're defending, let us pass freely.
Now that isn't any way to treat our guests.
We want to join forces.
We don't need no welcome wagon, chickadee. Now, if you got supplies or ammunitions to trade in kind, go fetch your betters.
Because I know at daybreak you're headed to link up with the rest of your army. You're finally headed west to seek out that little patch of land you've been talking about.
But she never got stories.
The only commander I follow is Colonel Brigham, and the only commander he serves is the Almighty himself.
Right, imagine double-handed like he just done. That would be well solid. Oh, she's bringing him back to life.
We have toiled in God's service long enough, so I killed him. If you want to get to glory, you won't be looking for his favor. You'll need mine.
Oh, she missed a trick there, mate. She should have said, I'm the captain now. Done the Night King, stand there and just let the dead rise. Do you know what I mean? Imagine how good that would be. Imagine that, mate. She's gone in. She's like, look, mate, I told you, you know, the only way you're going to succeed is with me at the helm. And the only people I follow is my commander and the Almighty himself. Well, I killed the Almighty and I'm God now. I'm the captain. Boom, bring all the dead up. Now you're with me. If not, you're getting killed. You know what I mean? That would have been so sick. They missed a trick on that one. But yeah, she's not messing about, is she, mate? She has to get an army, so I can't blame her for going in. Kind of realistic that they took them out because they was all sat down eating, weren't they? They come in weapons drawn, so, you know, it would make sense that a few of them would get taken down. I would like some of them to retaliate, though, a little bit of a shootout, but, you know, no problem with it. You know, it just goes with how it is. She's trying to require the people, the army, and they used that guy that she resurrected back in the lab to obviously get them in the door to obviously acquire them to go forward. Oh, Dolores is playing a piano now.
You sent out for the entertainment.
Well, you only get to retire once, Jim. If we do it right. It's more like a coronation, but no mine. Our arrangement's been a perfect fit. You stepping down doesn't help me at all.
So he's dying / retiring at the same time and he's taking the helm. Well, again, like I said, where's his son? Where is Logan now? Junkie now.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to bother you.
He sent you down here. His sense of humor was always somewhat baroque. You want to know what they're really celebrating up there? Darling, is the sound of fools fiddling while the whole fucking species starts to burn. The funniest fucking part? They lit the match.
I don't understand how he's got in that position and the other guy's got into where he is when he started it up and he also loved it as well. Do you know what I mean?
See any friends of yours?
Can't say that I do.
In a past life, you used to be him. El Lazo, I presume. I wasn't sure of your hospitality.
Santa Maria is restored. The sins of the invaders cleansed. How long have I been fighting? And now that it's won, I find nothing. I have seen all the truth that I can bear. To the bitter end.
I'll take your men either way. Tell them to follow me. Now!
This game was meant for you, William, but you must play it alone.
Oh, Ford has got it into him. That is so interesting.
I'll see you in the valley beyond, William.
Mate, that's actually really interesting. Ford, mate, he's still in it. He must have planned this. He must have known that stuff was going down.
He doesn't want this to be easy for me. So we'll find another way. This place we're going is my greatest mistake.
Everybody makes mistakes, don't they?
You really are just a thing. I can't believe I fell in love with you. You know what saved me? You didn't make me interested in you. You made me interested in me. Everybody wants a little bit of what I found. And I I can't wait to use you and every one of your kind to help give it to him. I think that there is an answer here to a question no one's ever even dreamed of asking.
Do you want to see?
Have you ever seen anything so full of splendor?
That's where she's picked that word up. He said it first though. It looks like what Ford was using as well to create the world or whatever he was trying to do.
Can't imagine the Colonel is going to be very happy to see his men riding with us at the head of them.
If he wants to get to glory, he's going to have to listen to me. An old friend was foolish enough to show me long ago. And it's not a place, it's a weapon.
That visual looks pretty good of them two on the horse. My question is, where's all the people behind her that just rolled in? You know what I mean? They was riding with the Confederados there and they've just disappeared. Now, the interesting thing that she was just saying is that, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel or whatever it is that they're going for, you know, it's a weapon and she's going to use it to destroy every one of them. Now, she said that an old friend's once shown it her. Now, is she talking about Arnold at the start of the episode? Maybe when it was in the world, do you know what I mean? And he had to walk around and he's showing her the city and stuff? Or was it the big machine that, you know, that William had just shown her there? The kind of, to me anyway, it looked like the same one that Arnold was using to kind of like create the world. But again, you know, I've got to say, that conversation that William just had with Dolores was, not that I didn't like it, but like, he just said then, mate, you are just a thing, aren't you? I can't believe I ever fell in love with you. So it's basically what he said. You are just a thing. Can't believe I ever fell in love with you. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that was what I got out of it is a true reflection of my own desires, pretty much. You know, everybody, the one thing that everybody likes is their own reflection. It's a mirror. And I learned a lot about myself. Something along the lines of that anyway that he was saying. And guess what? Who said that? That's right, Logan. When you was first entering the park, when you was on the train, he said, mate, this world is great, mate. Forget about what's gone on in the past. I can't wait to see who you are in here. You know, it's not real, but it pretty much gives everybody's true colours. It brings out everybody's true intentions, the desires, and who they actually are. And do you know what I mean? He was all like disregarding it. And how many times did Logan have to tell William that they're not real? They're just things they created for us, our joys, our entertainments. You know what I'm saying? And all last season he was saying, she is real, she's different, I love her, you know, I'll leave my wife for you. That's like literally what he was doing. And then obviously you jump into this season and then he's like there, sat down saying, yeah, you're not real, you know, I should have never been in love with you. And, you know, I got what this place truly gives everybody, what they want, makes you feel. And it's like, mate, that is literally what Logan's been preaching the whole time anyway to you last season. Now, the interesting thing is with that Logan scenario is that I'm trying to follow the timeline. And like, all right, at the start of the episode, she said something like, have you ever seen something so splendid? Then she said it again, have you ever seen something so splendid? Prior to the park being open, prior to the pitch being given to Logan, before obviously he accepted the startup and we rocked forward. So she said that. Then, fast forward, obviously, William and Logan being in the park, them two falling out, moving into the future, William pitching it to his dad about taking people's data, fast forward again to his dad retiring, now Dolores is there playing the piano, she's gone down to the city and said something like, have you ever seen something so splendid as well, or something. So then she said it in the past, kind of like in the, I won't say in the present, but then after she said that, been at that party, he's gone and spoken to her, then took her into this world, and then he said it to her. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I thought that she would have picked up that wording off somebody, but no, like, he's actually said that. So, I'm trying to figure out that as well. And like I said, I might be the only one that's confused with where Logan's got from where he was. You know, start of the episode, he was approached to be the startup. They were saying, look, mate, my dad don't know the future. If it's hit him in the face, I do. You know what I mean? I've gone for it. The pitch was great. I would have gone for it as well, heavily invested. Fast forward, you know, into his dad coming here to the park. He's saying that, you know, it's not doing that good. He's looked at the books. It's like a red part in a Red Sea or something. There's only like 2 years left. But before that happened, boom, last season happened. And that's in right bang in the middle there. So Logan's been pitched. Then you got last season. him and William in there going for it. It seemed to have gone really well. Then jump forward, obviously, into them leaving the park, telling his dad that, obviously, Dolores is beautiful and stuff, because he come and, like, referenced it. They've done a deal together. Jump forward again. This is where his dad's retiring. William's taking over the business. Looks like his dad's kind of dying as well. And now Logan's a junkie down there. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's happened to him? Like, how's he literally fell off so much? I understand that last season, William, it was said that he was getting into Logan's sister because his true intentions, his real, you know, like, thing that he wanted was to get a hold of the company. But I don't understand how that's pushed Logan out. That's my opinion anyway. His dad obviously wanted to focus on the reality. Then now spent all his money on marketing. He wants to know what people's true desires are. Well, he's going to get it because they're watching them, they're getting it, they're acquiring it. William even said it in the present as the Man in Black. Do you know what I mean? He sat down speaking to Lawrence. But we don't know what they're doing with that information, what they're trying to achieve, where they're going, how they're using it. So this would be a big one because, like I said, I feel like they're doing it legally. Bernard asked Tail, she was reluctant to say, and now obviously it's been referenced like 2 times this episode, so I reckon that we're rocking with that storyline this season, which I've got no problem with. We've got loads of chaos happening as well around it, so I'm excited, and yeah, I just can't wait to find out, obviously, like, what happened to Bernard in that period from, obviously, last season to falling on the thing and all that in between, as well as this. What weapon is it and how does she want to use it? Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Very interesting stuff, honestly. So, we had mainly kind of like a Dolores type episode today, wasn't it? It was kind of focusing on her and her story, and a bit of Williams as well, to be honest. Last episode, it was about Bernard, wasn't it? You know, going to the place, finding out about, obviously, this information, how they're extracting data, but also, you know, him kind of like deteriorating, trying to get back on the mend. Also, the aftermath, obviously, of the finale of season 1. And now, obviously, in today's episode, we've seen it here. Started off with him speaking to Dolores back in the day and then moving into, obviously, the present and rolling through the stories. And you can still see she's not letting it up. She's determined to take over both worlds. Now, the interesting thing is, when he was inside that facility, technically, they could have kind of been in their world, innit? All she would have had to do is take the elevator up, mate, to a different floor, and she would have been out onto the surface. But they are quite far away from society, aren't they? So I'm not too sure that she would have kind of got anywhere. She just would have been in an empty building, wouldn't she? But I like how they used a guy that they let off last episode to run through the trees to get to the location and used him as kind of like bait to follow him. That was so good, honestly. It was really clever. I don't know if he died either, him, actually. You know, he actually might have survived even though he took them there. Now, again, she's still trying to get her army bigger and stronger, and I can't wait to see, obviously, the timeline progress through from the, to be honest, they should have called it 10 days. You know what I mean? Like, when Bernard was found, they should have referenced that it was 10 days after, yeah, Ford was shot. And then what you could have done is 10 episodes all season, 1 day each time, kind of like 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. But obviously it's not 24, but it's a day at a time. One episode is 1 day and it progresses and you get all the way through it up until the end. That would have been really exciting to see, like, obviously, how we got to that point. But we still didn't find out, obviously, how the C's kind of been put in there. You know, like they was referencing last episode and all of the dead bodies that was found there. And obviously what's drawing them on. We have seen, obviously, Dolores try to recruit people and get her army a little bit stronger. She did cross paths with Maeve, who didn't actually, you know, join her, and she didn't really show if Maeve could kind of control any of them as well. Maeve was just saying, look, mate, you're doing your thing, I'm doing mine. She mentioned something like, yeah, you believe that the way to fight against them is the right way, like your way, so to speak, but I'm just doing mine. Now, I'd like actually a next episode with Maeve here in the park, going through it, you know, encountering different people. Wonder if they can get shot now. And like I said, I'd like to know how many people she can actually control. Now, Teddy, you know, he's finally seen it today. Seeing is believing, isn't it? You know, sometimes you can hear information, you can kind of believe it, but, you know, until it's fully confirmed to yourself, it's always one of them what ifs. But boom, mate, we've seen it. He's seen the past, he's seen his pictures flicking through it. He knows Dolores isn't chatting now, and you know, he's probably fully behind her now. Again, like I said, at the end of the episode, with her looking over saying the colonel or whatever is probably not going to be happy that we're riding with this crew. But the thing is, you know, she knows, it seems like she knows people's future as well, or stories. Like, she was telling that guy exactly where he's going, what he's trying to achieve, and how he's not done it, he's been too afraid before. So maybe, again, it's one of these where Arnold's give her loads of information. And again, just speaking about Arnold, do you know what I mean? Like, last season, all codes were being altered inside of Host, and it was Arnold that was doing it. You know, when they went to do Maze, he was saying somebody had already been there doing it, and it was Arnold, and he didn't know who that was, and it referenced a few times. So how's that actually happened? Like, why have they started to like malfunction? Because the whole time I was asking, how is Maeve waking herself up? It doesn't make sense. If she gets shut down, what is happening? And we finally referenced it, I think, in the last episode by saying somebody changed her code Arnold so that she wouldn't be put in sleep mode or something like that. And then again, speaking about sleep mode, do you know what I mean? Like when William came to the park with obviously Logan's dad, he was focusing in on Dolores's face like 3 or 4 times. I don't know if that was meant to say, you know, she had control of being able to know what was going on. Do you know what I mean? And like, 'cause I'm sure when they was in the park at that time, she was able. Well, to be honest, yeah, like that was after pretty much. So when when William went to that park and started obviously speaking to Logan's dad, that was after he'd already been to the park with Dolores, and he knows that her mind was okay and she was thinking for herself and she wasn't like everybody else. So I also think that, I've said it in many times, I believe that the characters or the hosts like Dolores and sometimes Maeve faked the like decommissioned trans down, so to speak, of their personalities to play along with it, and I'm sure that she might have been stood there playing along with it as well. So I'm interested to see obviously where we go from here. It's good that we're utilising them from last season, to be honest, and going into it just gives us a bit of background, a bit of oomph, do you know what I mean, that we can kind of understand and not have to try and wrap our heads around as well, because quite a lot of stuff goes on in the show. It's hard to follow sometimes, especially when you're jumping between the past, present and future, do you know what I mean? It's chaotic. So I mean, I'm liking what we're doing there. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.